Well, this apparently is my 100th video. Who would have thought that after that terrible first video that I would still be here 100 videos later. But here I am, and I don't have the skill or the talent to do anything special for the 100 video. So I do know what I'm going to be talking about, but it probably isn't very exciting. But it's my usual stuff. So in the new year, I had visitors. I think I told you about that. And one of the visitors had bought her mother bought her mother her first computer, and so we did a little video together, which I will put up after this first introduction, and it was quite unscripted and unthought about, but we were talking about the benefits of computers and the internet. And I think I've mentioned so many times before that practically all of my friends of my age don't want to know anything about computers, and certainly not the internet. And of course, and also people not my age who don't want to know about it as well. But of course, we are in the world of the internet, and in a way we're being forced to do more and more things on the internet. Certain banks and people won't accept transactions other than on the internet. So if I had the energy and the time, I would like to somehow be able to alert people in the middle and older years of the benefits of having computers, because they say they don't want to know, they don't know what they would use it for, etc. Well, I don't have that time or energy, I suppose, but there's a local branch of Age Concern in my area who are setting up a new website, and sometime in the near future, and I've been asked if I will I don't know what I'm supposed to do, launch it, but that will mean going to the launch and making a speech of some sort, I suppose. So certainly give me a chance to bring up the fact that older people don't in general like computers, and one of the reasons is that they think it's all very high-tech stuff, and they're very frightened, and they're so behindhand, and they wouldn't know where to start. So I certainly bring that up, and maybe on their website something could be set up. I really don't know, but it occurs to me that all of you have the chance to introduce older people to the computers, and I would just encourage you to do that, because by doing so I hope that they too will see all the benefits and get so many of the joys that I too have got out of it. So without more ado, I'll finish now, and I'll put the video that we did together where we talked about these issues up onto the end of this introduction. So for this bit of the video, I'll say goodbye, and see you all again very soon. Goodbye.
That was easy.
Okay. Hello, my name's Nika, and this is my mum Cecilia, and we're visiting Peter at the moment, and we thought we'd do a little YouTube thingy for my channel, because I got a Christmas present from my mum, which is a computer, and my mum is terrified of computers. So Peter, being an expert, aren't you, Peter?
Hardly an expert, but I am an old person, and I have become not frightened of them anymore, and I hope that with Nika's help that you too can reach a stage where you'll get great enjoyment from your computer.
Hopefully.
With patience.
So what's the sort of concern? Why are you sort of scared about computers, Mum?
Well, not exactly scared, but I had to use one at work when I was working. I'm now retired. And it was I found it so boring.
Oh.
I mean, I'm talking about prior to 1999. So I'm sure things have improved since then.
Just a little bit.
So I'm just going to try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, because you don't know anything really about the internet, do you?
No, not really.
And you love reading.
I do.
And to me, it's like the internet. It's like you have a library in your own home. You can click onto anything.
Excellent.
And research anything.
Excellent.
Have you got any questions that you'd like to ask Peter? How you got started, maybe?
Yes, Peter, how did you get started?
Well, I, like you, was scared, and I couldn't see any reason for having a computer, but I thought that it was part of the modern world and that I should have one, and therefore I bought one, and then of course had to learn to use it, and I didn't really have anybody to help me. So on every program you're on a computer, you've got a help file, which means there's instructions of what to do. So I started to learn that way, and then in my case subsequently I decided to go to college to just learn basic IT, which means information technology, doesn't it, or something? All the things you can do on a computer, and it's a gradual process. But I think the great thing that you will enjoy is the fact of the internet, and everything is done on the internet these days, from research to buying things to ordering your food, finding out, booking air passages and train journeys, and it's a whole world of joy. And one of the other things that I think you'll find useful is that there are programs whereby you can speak to people all over the world and include video of yourself. So it's like being in the same room with relations you might have Australia, Japan, America, or even next door. So there's no need. I mean, there are great joys, but I do understand that I have many friends who just won't know about computers because they say, why do I want one, you know? But only after you've got one will you find reasons, really.
Thank you, Peter.
Like
That's great.
Luke, which is my nephew, your grandson, he books your tickets, doesn't he, to
He
go
does.
to Ireland?
He does.
And you're going to do that yourself?
Yes, the only thing wrong with that is that on my last trip,
I know it's coming.
on my last trip, I checked in at the airport at Heathrow, and the lady said, now that will be £5 for your suitcase. He'd failed to book the suitcase, so I had to pay £5, and I really objected to it. I was really cross. It actually made me cross for about an hour.
Oh dear. Well, that's very sad. I don't understand, because I thought any time you take a suitcase onto an aeroplane, it'll go free at a certain weight. But
indeed.
I mean, you were probably overweight.
No, I
Oh,
wasn't,
Peter,
Peter.
what, are you insulting my mum?
I wasn't, Peter. It was an ordinary. In fact, I was very careful. It was just one suitcase. Now was what I was booking on. I've previously booked 2 on and not been charged.
Well, I didn't even know you had to book a suitcase, so
put it through on the little runner, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yes, and
And
that into
£5,
the hold luggage.
and
yeah.
I had to go, and you couldn't duck. You see, if you thought you were going to duck, you then had to get your boarding card when you paid for it.
Oh, right.
And the same thing happened at Shannon on my way back.
Oh well, bad luck. But I don't really think we can blame the internet.
No,
No,
that's
you?
true. That's the
I
airline.
complained about the airline. That's the first time it's ever happened, Peter, and I've been travelling with Aer Lingus for 50 years.
You reminded them of that fact, I suppose.
You
I
did.
did go
I thought you might.
rather for spite now.
Yes.
They're discontinuing the link from Shannon to Heathrow, not because of what I said.
Now, what you could do, Mum, with the internet,
Yeah.
you could write an email to this airline and
yes.
complain.
Well, yes, of course, email. I mean, there's so many wonderful things that you can do, and I'm very pleased that Nika has given you this as a Christmas present, and I guarantee you'll probably find she can't get you off the thing now.
Indeed,
True,
exactly.
true. I hope I won't get too hooked. I have too much else to do. You know.
Well, that's
The
another
housework, I guess.
that's another thing that people say, but I mean, you have to get your priorities right.
Indeed.
I mean, the internet comes first.
If you say so, Peter.
Well, no, it's very nice that you've expressed those worries, because they're worries that so many people I know have, and there's no need to. And it's like any other tool. You use it for what you want to use it for, and you use it when you want to use it. But I think the whole world is moving over to everything being on the internet. I mean, you can watch your television programs there, etc., and you listen to your radio programs when you want to, not to be tied down to schedules on the thing.
Exactly.
You may not want to do that, but every department of the media is recognising the power of computers and the internet. So I think you should come up to speed and
Indeed.
bring yourself into the 21st century.
It's nice that you had that faith, Peter.
I've got a funny story. Have you got enough time, Peter?
It's up to you. You've had 7 minutes.
All right,
so
I've got
far.
a funny little story. My oldest nephew, Dan, he was like having, I don't know how it, well, I wasn't there, but I'll tell the story anyway, and you can
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, Mum. And my brother's a few years older than me, and he said, "Oh, Dad, you're stuck in the 60s. And then my mum, thinking that she's a trendy granny, she said, "Oh, Dan, and what about
Where am
me?
I?"
Where am I?" And he said, "You're stuck in the 1860s." I can imagine how my mum's face looks.
Absolutely, yes.
I
yeah,
thought I was
yeah.
so trendy, you know, and up to date.
Oh, you'll soon be talking like a teenager once you've been onto one of these Skype or Messenger or something like this, and you'll be texting away, and you'll have to learn text language, you know. You don't.
Yes, I realised you were saying something there earlier on. I can't recall what it was, but it was double Dutch to me. A term, you
Well,
know.
to be honest, a lot of the text language is double Dutch to me. I don't understand all these acronyms. In fact, when I was on the computer quite early on, LOL is quite a common acronym, and I thought it meant lots of love.
Oh.
And so I was texting to all sorts of people, putting
loves.
sending lots of love instead of lots of love. So they got the completely wrong message, and I do understand some of the rude acronyms that people put to me, and there's always an F in there somewhere, you know. But I don't understand many of them, and I don't
No.
actually use them.
No. All right then.
Is
Well-
there anything else you want to say or ask?
No, I'm delighted, Peter, that you've made us so welcome. I've never been to Derbyshire before,
Well, that's wonderful.
and it's beautiful. I mean, it's dark now, but you know, it was lovely coming up. We had
Thank
a
you.
lovely.
We had a lovely time.
It's been lovely having you, and you know you're always welcome.
Thank
and
you very much.
Nika
Thank
and
you.
I, of course, have met before.
We
and,
have indeed.
Now I've met Mum, and
That's right.
that's lovely.
And now
Thank
you can give us the permission to get married.
Well, I did.
You
I
might
did,
have competition.
Oh, well, I have.
I did ask her, and I think she might be putting a video up where I asked her. I don't know.
And now that you see my mum, I'm out of the picture.
Ah.
Oh dear.
Well, you did bring some lovely food over with you, didn't you? And some cream and jam on your scones, and so you're trying to win your way.
Yeah, my mum can cook, I can't, you
The
see.
way to a man's heart is
It's
through his stomach. Yes.
But I can ride a motorbike, Peter, so...
Oh, well, how do I choose? How do I choose? I mean, you've got a Yamaha twin. I mean, how do I choose?
Oh
You
dear.
don't ride a bike.
A push bike.
Right. Okay. Well, it's up to you, Nika, when you want me to click this little button that ends it
Okay.
and say goodbye to them.
goodbye to all the
Bye.
YouTubers and a happy new year and all the best for 2008.